Oyster Islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome and thank you very much for joining us on wonderful Wednesday's edition of Talk Today as we invite you to be a part of a discussion. Stay tuned.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Again, if you would allow me to commend an amazing public service. We saw not just within, the government and those that you saw, individuals like Mr. Art, for instance, as well, maybe he would be termed, hopefully he's okay with me saying that, a retiree. And I want to start with that so that we, in celebrating October, our elderly, that we continue to have deference, recognize and respect their continuing contributions, the abilities that they bring to the table still, even though, we have determined, we, the collective we in societies where we decide that retirement is at a certain age. It may be, for judges one age and for police officers another. It may, but people still have value and they need to be feel valued and appreciated and help to maintain a purpose. And perhaps in that time is when we can benefit most from them. So to Mr. Art and all of the retirees, as the fantastic team over at DCFS talks about the active age, Ms. Cassandra and the like in particular, we can engage them, whether they are our parents, certainly when we get to that space. And then the others that we've seen, out and about in preparations, before the storm, during, and now after. So thank you all for the amazing job that you continue to do. The unsung heroes, true unsung heroes within our society. And then it's just incredible to be a part of that, knowing that if given the leeway, given the support, they would do much. I recall, they reinventing government exercise in the early 90s with the then Governor Owen and leading, Governor John Owen, and leading that initiative. We could see the industriousness, the sort of entrepreneurial nature. That may sound strange to you, that exists within civil servants and within the civil service, where they see things as they are. They're looking for value for money. We may not have necessarily been using those terminology at that time, but they want very much to get value for what we do, for ensuring that they can and make a meaningful contribution to ensure that as government does things, it's done in the most cost-effective, efficient way, and it has, as long as possible, that value that extends, many decades, centuries even, over generations. And that's the spirit that we need to inculcate. And somehow, I try to recall the name of the English educator who says that one thing schools tend to do nicely is to beat, other children, and that spirit of inquiry and intellect, that desire to be creative. Well, if that's how that is being viewed by an educator of that caliber, maybe we do the same with our own children and our own sort of, employment sector. But a very, very heartfelt, public thank you. Truly appreciate. And to our friends and families over in the Sister Islands, as you rebound, knowing that you're held up in prayer and knowing that you're supported here. And with that, we're expecting the next company of the Honorable Premier as our schedule allows. So thanks each and everyone. It was a pleasure to have sat here last evening and to engage in much. Now for those who are listening, please accept the invitation to give us a shout and share your thoughts. 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call or message or, the voice note. That is 925-3261 is our WhatsApp number. If you call that number and you want to get on air, well, you have to use the WhatsApp. And certainly, you want to talk about the passage of the hurricane, its projected path, the concerns of, changing weather patterns or what may emerge, even though, on our calendar, they have not yet extended the hurricane season either by starting earlier, as we know the World Meteorological Organization had once considered, given that there were a couple that were starting a bit earlier than the June 1st sort of established date, or even extending it beyond November, as we saw very evidently in December 2004 into January 2005. But saying that, to appreciate and respect that Mother Nature will do as the hand of God directs. So we can talk about that if you want. We can talk about the U.S. presidential elections. I think by now, even some of the other less than newsworthy outlets may have all, right, Mr. Carl, have all decided, well, this seems to be what the U.S. voting public has agreed to. Can say to you that I haven't read too much other than a quick blurb from the BBC and maybe one or two others, seeing that there's confirmation. There were a few when I looked at earlier of the U.S. Sort of media outlets, and they still had it, at the 4 sort of electoral college votes as opposed to the others. So strangely enough, when you Google the now incoming president, if you put his first name, comes up a little bit differently. Interesting. All right, we want to hear from you as we take this call. Welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Hey, Los Sterling.
How are you, my friend?
Boy, I tell you, I think they need to make Mr. Elon Musk a national hero, a true American hero, boy.
So South African born, I think he is. Global trans. Why do you say that, sir? I'm intrigued. Give me your perspective.
I don't know if people believe me or if they even know, but I believe in my good wealth in it. Wealth. Now, Mr. Elon Musk was such a generous man that he has helped so many American people. I think they need to make him an American hero.
Yeah, well, I don't know him personally. I must say I do know very little, how do we put it, from the perspective of what has been shared about him. And, but why would you nominate him like that? I mean, I'm curious. I asked again in this verification. Why would you?
Well, I'll be honest with you. He has been very kind to the people. Extraordinarily kind and generous. And we need that kind of heroics in the Caymans as well.
Well, listen now, I'm willing to entertain you, but if you can't say it correctly, I mean, you got have problems,
Well, look, Mr. Lord Sardin. No, I mean, you just imagine now, if it is so. Today, the man wakes up, he don't have as much as $50.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the next day, he got $1 million in his hand. Come on now.
Well, it depends. I mean, okay. So in your scenario, where does that $1 million come from?
Me? You mean what?
Yeah. So in your example, no, the man has doesn't have $1, but he wakes up and he has $1 million. However you put it, right? Where does that money come from? Where did he get that from?
Well, I couldn't tell you, but I've been made to understand that some people have been very generous.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I won't. Yeah.
According to the news,
Mm.
some generosity has taken place and has
Yeah.
been very nice to some people over in the States.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
we need that. I mean, come on now. No, it rough on me too. I need a couple of months myself.
But something that
I don't know where we'll get it from, but
money does not make the man. Neither. We do need some financial wherewithal in order to pay our bills and sustain ourselves. But I would have hoped that we get to a space once again where we don't measure the man by the wealth but by his metal instead. That where we appreciate our own value and worth is our character, our integrity, our honesty, the sincerity, the genuineness, as opposed to our ability to write a check. And with great respect, perhaps globally, we're looking at the golden rule being redefined, misinterpreted, and applied as he who has the gold, the money, the wealth, he who has the gold, who makes the rule, or worse, he who has the gun, the weapon, that thing to exploit and extort. Money is important. Many would say money makes the world go round. Some would even joke and say money doesn't buy happiness, but it allows you to buy, you choose your misery. And interestingly, we see people trying to position themselves in smaller homes, off the grid, a more, perhaps,
But Mr. Sterling,
Yes, sir.
just imagine now. I would like to speak for the elderly man, The elderly man who does not or express that there's no hope. And you take and you bring one briefcase with $1 million, put it in the hand.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown said put $1 million in that man's hand.
Yeah.
I say so.
Yeah.
And see if life won't be better for that man.
Yeah.
I believe it will be better. So
Yeah.
I'd say Mr. Elon Musk is a true American hero.
Yeah. Well, I hear you.
And we need those kinds of heroes in Cayman.
Well, we do need people in this country who have greater pride, greater national pride in the country, greater pride in themselves, and not to be confused with, as we put it, being prideful, being proud. Because the scripture says, pride goeth before the fall. But I think what we also need to understand, maybe a couple of quick things. One is that we allow people to say we're xenophobic when we exhibit, national pride, when we champion the best interests of Cayman and Caymanians. What we also seem to do is that those of us who are not originally from here, whether we are now Caymanian or otherwise, who say great things, who support and align themselves with the country and the Caymanians and the interests of the country, they at times are at risk of being ostracized, castigated, relegated to the margins. And we need to make sure that that's not happening. And then in all of that, what we need to ensure that in our diversity, as Mr. Hamid talks about, we find unity and we inculcate, right, within us consciousness, a conscious ethos of love and respect for this country, that we all stand at attention when we play our national song, that we all look out for the country and the country's interests and champion it, defend it when people say things. And maybe above all, when we look at what is happening around us, we join hands and hearts to help that we ensure that those who want to hinder, hurt, or harm, that they're reminded that they're the minority and that there is a level of accountability for their transgressions, not just in the hereafter, but the here now. There's another piece that I would ask, but I recognize the break, but maybe I will say it. But
Sterling,
yes, sir.
Did the U.S. dollar get stronger over the short period here?
I guess the short answer, it would appear from the markets opening up that they're positively responded to the election results of Mr. Trump's win.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna. Well, let me leave that as that, right? Anything before we take the break, sir? We are. You good?
Well, no, I ain't good yet.
Well, you will get better. All right.
I need Mr. Musk to help me.
No, my friend. What you need, man, is what we all need.
And to help the other older gentleman, because now I would like to speak to him, because he was saying that he don't believe there's any hope. So I hope that they put $1 million in the older gentleman and the Caymanian man.
Yeah, man.
It was saying that there's no hope.
All right.
I hope they put $1 million in his hand.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Don't feel too much, but I'm gonna ask you to pick it up another time. All right.
All right.
All right. Take care, man. Take care. Keep hope alive, as they say in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King. We have much to dream and to work for. We're gonna pause and take the break. I'm really honored whenever the schedule of the Honorable Premier is able to join us. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
36 world finalists from 12 countries, 3 winning teams, and 1 global competition. It's the 2024 Young Chef, Young Waiter, Young Mixologist World Finals. This November 22nd to 24th in Singapore, and the Cayman Islands is in the finals. Cayman's Young Chef Champion, Brittany Bodden, Young Waiter Champion, Steph McDermott, and Young Mixologist Champion, Cody Wright, will be competing for the ultimate prize of $15,000. Join us in cheering on our young professionals, tomorrow's leaders in hospitality and service, as they represent the Cayman Islands on the world stage. Supported by the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transport, and Development. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And to those who are listening, we share some of their thoughts who are WhatsApping. But let's take this call. Hey, thanks for calling. Oh, the call. Okay. Alrighty, and let's see if I can read it. And these 1, 2, 3 listeners, thank you very much. They're right for the coverage last night, and commends us, and I want to say thanks for listening, and thanks for sharing your sentiments with us. I certainly appreciate that. But I wanted to know for sure, as we look at our abilities to do as much as we can to make sure we are, as we do our parts, to ensure that the country has the level of coverage, attention, level of access, and participation from all of our respective quarters. So I credit, if you would allow me again, Mr. Orrit, just back on bright and early, did I think you would probably say a sterling job. Amazing. And we now have the distinct privilege and honor to be able to welcome our Premier as we go to the phones. Honorable Premier, welcome. God blessings to you. Okay. Okay, well, the team here is so diligent. Well, thank you, sir. I know he was trying to connect up and said it was, but it's amazing. I'm waiting for Off-Rig to do its thing the way it's to be done. All right, but in the meantime, give us a shout and share your thoughts with us. Interested in your perspectives relative to anything and everything as we go through what we need to do. 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call 925-3261. You can give us a call on the toll-free line if you want. 1-800-534-8255. As we share, with you. Now, a quick note while I have the chance. All right, we're going to take a call on the regular line, and I'll tell you what I was saying way back when that I'll say in a bit. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Hello? Oi. All right. Hello?
Hello.
Hi. Sorry about that. How are you?
Good, man. Good afternoon to you.
Oh, hey.
Listen, public. I wasn't sure I thought we were connected, but then it didn't seem like we were. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, now I can hear you better and recognize who you are, but I won't do what Mr. Brown said, welcome, Lord Rankin. I'm not going to do that. How are you? How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just, obviously, the U.S. elections is something that we obviously watch very closely. And for me, now that I have 2 adult children, they also watch it very closely, and then they share their opinions on their beliefs in the American politics. Anyway, but one of the most interesting things that I've noticed over this last election in the U.S. is that most people were picking sides, not based on policy or political ambitions or political abilities. They were picking sides based on race and gender and these kind of things. So I noticed that a lot with a lot of people when they ask me, well, why do you support Trump? I said, well, I said I'm not really a huge fan of Trump, but in this case where Trump is the only candidate other than Kamala Harris, I have to support Trump because I agree with a lot of the things that he wants to put forward. I mean, just like in the U.S., they took the prayer and the Bible out of the school, and he wants to bring it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wants to make sure that, and again, I'm not picking on anyone or any section of people. I'm just simply saying that, he want to make sure that transgenders don't enter, sports that they don't have an advantage over other people because of their gender.
Mm-hmm.
And these sort of things, create, and not only that, not to mention international affairs,
Mm-hmm.
when Trump was president, they never had any wars. Now that Biden is president, they got 4 wars.
Mm-hmm.
And the U.S. funding 3 out of the 4 wars. So,
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at the policies. So for me, again, I know a lot of people voted based on race and gender, and I think that those are the wrong reasons for you to decide who you like from who you don't like. So,
but I'm glad you shared that, and I know for some reason, and I am respectfully listening to you, but trying to also to coordinate something. So, I am attentive. So my apologies if you can see those who share. Oh, he's multitasking. Well, I don't believe it so much that I'm just trying to cover bases. But I like the fact that you shared that because, interestingly, in recent weeks, and I did not consciously watch this particular U.S. presidential election, and maybe even less so than the one prior, if that's even possible. Because what you're sharing is something that is obviously transpiring too easily and frequently, and it's been accepted. We no longer look at the principles and policies. We let it be, politics or personality.
Yep.
And I share with some close people, and again last evening, just in a conversation with my, my good friends here, that I was listening to the BBC, and the fella interviewing the lady, and he was so condescending, so disrespectful, and he asked her something, and whatever the conversation was, and her response was, this election is going to be about personalities, not policies. And even though politics is parochial in this popularity contest, I thought more than ever we need to get to effective policies, as you shared. And it's unfortunate,
Well, what a lot of people, or most people that I've asked, why they support Kamala over Donald Trump, and not one of those persons, and I can tell you, not one of those persons told me a political reason why they liked Kamala.
Yeah.
They just disliked Trump because of the way that he come across, and sometimes he can articulate things in a very condescending way and in a very offensive way.
Yeah.
But I said to them, I said, well, if you're basing if you could cast your vote, and it would be simply because you dislike Trump, you must be willing, from a democratic standpoint, to at least vote for someone who you think have the ability to hold that office and carry out the best job possible out of the 2 candidates. It can't be about the emotional feelings we have because of what someone said and what someone has done to in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the various media platforms last night, ABC, Fox, MSNBC, CNN, and all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was flipping through just so I could see and compare what was being said on each panel. And what was very, very ironic, because some networks didn't identify him winning states until later on, so the electoral vote count was different. On every station had a different number.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because the projection of him winning those states weren't coming in sooner in some of the channels. But again, the commentary, instead of them saying, look, here are the numbers, here are the results, and here's what will happen if this person wins this state and that state, and they have a better chance at a road to to the White House. They were campaigning they were tearing down Trump on most of these platforms, and while the election count is going on, I'm saying to myself, well, nothing you say now is relevant because the polls are closed and the count is in. So, and how I know that most people voted on principle and on policy and on things that they believe he can do to make America better. I don't believe in the whole "Make America Great Again" because I don't believe America was ever great before. I mean, after the Europeans showed up and ran the Native Americans into the bushes. I don't believe they were ever been great since that. But what I do believe is that the wars that we're seeing and being funded by the U.S. could be dealt with differently and has not been dealt with differently under the Biden administration. And for me to subscribe to a vice president who sat in the White House with the president for the last 4 years and try to convince me that they're going to do something different if I get elected now. So, again, we've seen the track record of Donald Trump in 2016 to 2020. And, yeah, he may not have gotten everything right, but I can tell you what, he's gotten far more right in 2016 to 2020 than Biden and Kamala combined got right in these last 4 years. So, I mean, and they're the only two candidates running for the presidential election. So it's hard for anyone who are basing their vote on the things that he's done compared to what they've done to vote in a different. And that's just my opinion. There.
Exactly. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, and I would encourage others, because if we live in a democracy, we should be able to say what we say respectfully and responsibly, publicly, and also appreciate when someone else's view differs, right? I know we have the break.
The premiere. Well, I can leave as soon as the premiere. I just want to say this on our front right quickly, and then I can come off. Yeah. I noticed that a lot of the new candidates who came on, when I say a lot, one or two of them, their campaigning is going around taking videotapes of some of the issues that we face. I saw one yesterday that before the storm, and I can't call any names because I don't have anything against these people. I just want to highlight some issues that we can do better on. Anyway, as opposed to taking your video camera and videotaping a pile of garbage saying, "Oh, a storm is coming, but we got all this garbage here," it would have been a lot easier if he had just picked the garbage up and threw it away and didn't take a video. The energy and time that he spent videotaping, highlighting it, I know it's an issue, and I think that it needs to be highlighted. But sometimes it's better to apply the solution as opposed to complain about the cause. So, and for me, you would make a much better representative, in my view, that if you had taken the initiative. We don't have everybody that see things the same. So some people are going to go down there and make the mess. It's there. Just pick it up. If you're concerned that mess is going to get washed all over the road and make a bigger mess, and you're there before the storm, just pick it up and throw it away.
Yeah. But to your point, I mean, just quickly, I agree with you. The Honorable Premier will, when her schedule opens up, call. So we just wanted to make it available, not only given her taxing day, but how difficult. So she's not.
I want to make sure that I'm not blocking up any time or any space.
And thank you for that. And we can. You don't have to. You can always call back. But if you wish, we're gonna take the break. I'm told. Or we're gonna let it roll. I was gonna say I can have oh man, listen. You're talking about a very very resourceful team. So if you wish to stay on, they just moved it on, and we'll take the break in 5 minutes. If you want to engage, I have one or two things that I may ask, but only if you wish.
Yeah, no, I'll stay on if no problem. I don't have a problem.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. I want to share some of the comments from our listeners in relation to what you're sharing. Okay. And but looking at where we are, maybe what I'll do is just ask this. If it's okay, one of our listeners messages and asks, if I could ask the gentleman, how will Trump's policies affect the Cayman Islands and the wider Caribbean in a positive way? You wish to answer? That's up to you.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, okay. So that person is asking, in your view, what how do you think is impact will be positive for Cayman and then by extension the wider Caribbean?
Well, one thing I'll point out right off the bat is that if anybody has followed American politics for any length of time, they would know that the Democrats have had a head-hunting program for any jurisdiction in the Caribbean that competes with the financial service industry. We know that Cayman has been deemed wrongly as a tax-free haven as opposed to a tax-free jurisdiction. We've heard U.S. candidates on the Democratic ticket have called Cayman by name, saying that they would do everything in their power to make sure that people can't do business in the jurisdiction of the Cayman Islands and avoid taxes and all these other things. we know this clearly. John Kerry had done it, and then he found out his wife, Hunt's catch-up money was banked down here. So for me, as a Republican and Donald Trump that is a businessman, now I'm not going to tell you that Donald Trump policies are going to directly, positively affect Cayman or negatively affect Cayman, because we yet to see what those policies are. But for Donald Trump wanting to secure the borders of America, for wanting to change some of the policies for businesses to run and lift that pipeline ban that they put on the oil and gases, Cayman will benefit tremendously from that level of business being able to happen, again, that has been stagnated by the Biden administration. One of the first orders that Biden did when he took office was cut off the Keystone Pipeline that was providing affordable fuel for affordable energy. And you know where we get our fuel from? We get our fuel from Marathon, Florida. Where Marathon, Florida get it from? When Obama lifted the moratorium for domestic drilling in the U.S., we were getting it from the U.S. Prior to that, we were getting 75% of refined product coming from the Middle East that were going into the Gulf that we were buying it out of. Hence the reason why we were paying these exorbitant rates for fuel that then we turn into energy. So no Democrat has ever demonstrated of doing anything that would have benefited the Cayman Islands or anybody in the Caribbean directly. So for me, I believe that the wars that are being funded by the U.S. is going to stop now. There's going to be some actual talks and negotiations. And if people think that wars don't affect us, let them believe that if there were to be a nuclear war, an attack on America, how that would affect, especially Cayman being one of the furthest West Caribbean islands with no mountains and no nothing to go run hide. You're not going to nothing to go run hide on. So I believe that Trump will bring peace back to those areas, and then we'll be out of the risk of a nuclear warfare, because those are one of the things that are on my mind.
Okay. Well, I certainly listen attentively. Here is another listener's comments. Well, new job pool available to convicted criminals. Politics. All positions available in the U.S. The president, the VP, the premier, the senator, and much more. Sad time for us all. Trump is a convicted criminal. Is that true?
I don't think he's a convicted criminal, but he who without sin cast the first stone.
Okay. So yeah, okay.
I mean, if you're going to call somebody a criminal, at least you need to have the proof.
He advocates the abuse of women. He lies. Does that mean anything? Now let's talk about our own political state of affairs. That's what's written by this listener.
I agree.
Okay. Okay. So we've got.
I agree. Let's talk about our own political affairs, because those are the things that will directly affect us.
Yeah, man.
And immediately. So I agree. I mean, of course, we had 4 members resign. Sterling clearly. Cayman need leaders, not quitters.
Right. Well, we have if you are inclined, my friend, we have that break that I must take now as we go to the news.
I'll hold on.
You hold on? Leaders, not quitters. That sounds like a tagline, bro. I'm going to leave that to you. Share with us as we return. Stay tuned.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
The STEPS National Health Survey results indicate that the Cayman residents spent 50% more time in sedentary activity in 2023 than in 2012. The World Health Organization recommends 30 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity per day for adults. With Pirates Week around the corner, start today. Park a little further from the events and get a few more steps in. To learn more, log on to www.gov.ky/steps. Let's step into wellness together, Cayman.
We are Radio Cayman.
Covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevi Ebanks. The public is being advised that the West Bay Police Station has relocated back to its location at 242 West Church Street in West Bay. The station is open and operating as normal and can be contacted at 949-3999. The RCIPS apologizes for any inconvenience caused and thanks the public for their cooperation. In regional news, in Jamaica, the National Works Agency reports no significant road damage from Hurricane Raphael, according to Stephen Shaw, the manager for communications and customer service. Speaking at the National Emergency Operations Center, Shaw noted some landslides in St. Thomas and flooding in sections of St. Andrew and St. Catherine. Marcus Garvey Drive was flooded but passable, while Chesterfield Drive was impassable. The Bog Walk George remains closed. The storm warning for Jamaica has been lifted, but flash flood warnings continue for the southern parishes. In Trinidad, police has reported that Constable Krishna Banhar was shot and killed and another officer wounded during a shootout with gunmen in the southwestern Trinidad area on Wednesday. One gunman was also killed while a search is underway for another suspect. Banhar, attached to CID, was pronounced dead at the hospital. His colleagues, CPL Mohammed, is hospitalized. The officers were on duty when they were attacked. That is your latest headlines. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Urban Adolphus Tibbetts Certificate of Honor, 1914 to 1991. Urban Tibbetts was the 12th and last child of William and Henrietta Tibbetts of Cayman Brac. As a young man, he went to sea for a few years. When he returned home, he served as a police officer for 3 years and then returned to sea. After retiring from sea for the second time, he joined the Public Works Department and within a few years became supervisor. During his years as work supervisor, he supervised the construction of Kimmenbrack Airport, the road to the lighthouse on the bluff, and the road on the south side of the Brack. He did not just supervise the work, but worked along with the men on the job. Urban raised cattle, and when he butchered at Christmas time, he often gave away beef to families who could not pay for it. He was always willing to help those in need. In the early 1950s, he donated the land for Fellowship Baptist Church, and once it was built, he joined the church and became a deacon. Urban was married to Vida McLaughlin, and the couple had 7 children.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thank you for joining us. And to the fine gentleman on the air, thank you so much for staying on as you were sharing your thoughts. We have some comments from listeners as well we want to share. But your perspective?
Sure, but I mean, obviously, if you want to read the comments, that's fine too, and we can talk about that.
Yes, thank you. And I want to also pick up on what you were sharing earlier in relation to, now your perspective being there won't be the wars on the Trump's presidency, but the UK Army Chief, I think that's the term, said a few months back, maybe July thereabouts, that the UK must be ready for war in 3 years. And that was published in the UK media. I think it might even been in their House of Commons that was said, I'm not sure, or some parliamentary select committee, but he said that. And I asked that question, is that where the world is heading? That we're looking more and more that we might be facing some sort of global conflict, or even, just on the European continent? Is war imminent?
Well, I mean, just to talk about that briefly, because obviously wars are important to the entire planet, because some countries have weapons that can affect the entire planet. So we all need to pay attention. But I don't know if a lot of people is familiar with Warsaw and NATO, right? United Nations. And there was agreement sometime back in the G20 summit where if Putin and his crew had dissolved Warsaw, that they would dissolve NATO and they wouldn't increase membership. Now, one of the sticking points that Putin had made clear, and I want to be very clear. Now, I'm not defending either side here. I'm just sharing what some of the things that I've read and researched and found out. Now, when Warsaw was dissolved, then the following year NATO was supposed to start reducing their membership size. But as opposed to sticking to the agreement, they increased their membership. And then at the following year and a half later on summit, Putin made it clear that, look, don't increase your membership on my border. And again, the agreement was made verbally, and they talked about it, and then all of a sudden they kept increasing their membership, and then Ukraine became a member of NATO, and then they wanted to build nuclear war plants and stuff along the Russian border, which is what triggered the conflict. Now, I'm not saying that no one is, and I don't give right when you're killing children and women and innocent people over a cause that don't even concern them. I find it very hard to believe that this couldn't have been talked about and couldn't have been resolved without warfare. Now, whether or not that was the motivation behind it all. October 7th was one of the notable days in which the war started, and and certainly, you know, I believe that if the right commander-in-chief, and when this person predicted that we'll be at war in 3 years, that is because they were under the assumption that the Democrats will retain the rulership of the United States presidency.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly we'll be in war in 3 years, or probably sooner, because Kamala Harris said in one of her addresses to the nation just recently, right before the election, when she was asked a question about the war in Israel, she said, well, she would make sure and support Israel and give them whatever they need to finish doing what they started to do, which is finish the war, win the war. And I believe that because of these ongoing conflicts and all of the surrounding countries around the world that support some of these conflicts, I believe that it would have been inevitable for the world to go into a war, which would have caused another world war, and we would have been at risk of a nuclear warfare. And who are going to suffer? Small islands like Cayman and other nations that don't have any defense against anything. You know, we talk about we are British territory and the UK can protect us. You think if the UK is under attack in the UK, they're going to send a warship to the colonies in the Caribbean about protecting them? You really believe that?
Mm-hmm.
That's yet to be seen, because I can assure you that they're going to take care of their homeland and protect those borders long before they send any delegation out here to consider us. So, and we're talking about a warfare that nobody in Cayman played a hand in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, when I look at the presidents in the U.S., I have to look at the president that would rather talk this thing out and try to ease the war, the physical wars, as opposed to, you know, continuing to fund these wars. Kamala made it very clear she was going to continue to fund Israel and fund Ukraine until they won the wars. That's not something that I want to hear a potential president candidate say, because women and children, innocent people are dying as we speak right here now over a war that they have nothing to do with. So I support the president that's willing to end those wars, but that's just my opinion.
No, and I can hear your perspective, and perhaps I was listening to you and thinking back. I was trying to remember, was it 2011? I believe it was before the Crimea sort of annexation, and the professor giving a presentation similar to what you said, that, you know, if Russia and some of the other countries were invited into NATO, so building peace and making it cooperative, that might have been better.
Yep.
Heavily criticizing the then U.S. President, whatever his name is, that Obama guy, though.
Well, yeah. not to cut you, sir,
no,
but why my thought process hit that.
Go ahead, man.
You know, a lot of people fail to hone in on the causes of most of these wars, you know. And almost every single major war is over oil and gas and resources,
mm-hmm.
right? You must understand. We must all understand that one of the reasons why they wanted to encapsulate Iran with this whole conversation about war. I mean, just look at what happened in the midst of these wars. Iran apparently according to major media, attacked Israel. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Israel had to retaliate. And I'm saying to myself, why is Iran getting involved with a war that don't concern them? But guess who have one of the largest reserves of oil? Iran. Guess who is the most heavily sanctioned country in the world? Iran. But guess what? Other countries like Russia buys oil from Iran. So isn't it ironic that Iran and Russia are being painted as the poster child of the troublemakers in all these wars that are taking place now? Because Iran was heavily sanctioned by the United Nations, and then Russia decided, okay, well, we'll buy oil from you because we're not under that sanction. We're not a part of NATO.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden now these two countries are at war and they're being painted as the bad guy. Now you remember 2.5 years ago, right? Well, sorry, it might have been before that, because I think it was right before COVID, when you had all of these oil tankers coming out of the south. The Saudis oil tankers that were being attacked, and they said it was Iran. And when one of the independent scientists got the debris and found out that the missiles that hit the Saudis' oil ship was a Saudis missile,
mm-hmm.
it was their own missile, and they said it was somebody starting conflict.
Right.
And these are the things that are taking place, and no one is paying attention to these things.
Well, two things that I like with listening to you, is the willingness to have these discussions, and hopefully it'll encourage more of us, but recognizing that it seems that increasingly, or we are unwilling to sit across the table and talk to someone knowing that that person has a different view. And then the second thing, as the unfolding sort of geopolitical landscape changes, we hear talk in that space about proxy wars.
Right.
I wonder, again, from the Cayman context, if we are cognizant of what is happening, to what extent we are being impacted, not just from the tourism or the financial services, the supply of goods as we import into our own shores. But, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No. You're absolutely right. But I want to hit the rewind button for a second.
Yes, sir.
Was this conversation after the break deliberately sidetracked so that we didn't talk about the 4 members that abandoned their posts as ministers and MPs?
Oh, no, sir, no.
I got to ask her because I'm a straight shooter.
No. Listen.
Because when we went to the break, you said you want to pick up on that when we came back, but then you went straight into the war, and we can talk about war forever.
No. Let's come back to the local. I was no. Thank you. And please, No, man. No.
I think that our conversation about our politicians is prudent.
Thank you, though.
Thank you. Now, because we have an upcoming election, and we need to make the right choices moving forward, and we need to hold politicians accountable, and this is one of the ways we can do it. Now, when the whole island heard that 4 members had resigned, 3 ministers, 1 MP, that's not a small problem. That's a big problem, because remember, in Sterling, after Election Day and after swearing-in ceremonies, we now have a government, whether we voted for them or not, whether we like them or not, whether we emotionally or mentally attached to them, it doesn't matter. They are our government. And if we are saying or if we are admitting that we want to systematically work every day of our lives to make things so bad for them that they fail, then I don't see the logical continuity behind that. I don't see the sense behind trying to make your government fail because you didn't vote for that party or you didn't agree with that party. I think that we need to make sure that whatever fight we face, that we fight it together. I believe that, when I heard that 3 ministers left, and then 2 days later they listed out all of the reasons as to why they left, and then I'm saying to myself, well, okay, let's just say hypothetically, Sterling, that everybody in Cayman that has the eligibility to vote agreed for the reasons why they left, right? Now, where that leaves the voting public that agrees with the reasons why they left, if they all left their positions as ministers, the only seat in the House where you actually can do something to make a difference in the things that you say why you left. So that means you left the fight and you took all of us with you without our permission.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, it's interesting, and I welcome that you are willing, as you have publicly on air as a guest, and to share your perspectives on your own sort of platform. But are we in Cayman, and I limit it just to the Cayman Islands, are we now in a space where we are comfortable, we're courageous, we're committed, or we are willing to share publicly our perspectives, whether about our own local sort of political landscape, or to weigh in and comment on things in the region or internationally?
Well, I mean, it's hard for...
Yeah.
I just think that it's comical to believe or to perceive that we can demonstrate this level of professionalism and that we have this level of first world status, but everything that we do reflects a third world banana republic. So I find it hard to believe that members of cabinet who sat a month and a half ago and debated the budget and the bills and debated all these things and went through the ups and downs, I find it really hard to believe that that the best course of action was to abandon your seat and leave that fight unfought until the next general election. Because even if you thought that your political worth was being diminished by being with this party, then that's something that you should have said publicly. That's something you should have went to your constituents and said, look, guys, I'm a minister and I'm having this fight, and these are the things that I don't agree with, and these are the things that I do agree with. Are you guys understanding the fight that I'm having? I need to stay and fight this. So if the outcome of this doesn't come out the way that we want it, it wasn't because I didn't fight for the contrary. So for me, Sterling, I rather die trying than to give up and live in a place that I am not comfortable in, and that I have to make all sorts of adjustments just to say, okay, I gonna just give up now and live under these conditions.
Right.
So
one of our listeners also shared about the Ukraine, and only if you want to go back, I can always read. But a listener also shares in relation to your current our current discussion, says the four, and that's for those listening. I guess we're talking about Mr. Andre Ebanks, Ms. Anthony Banks Wilkes, Miss Sabrina Turner, and Miss Heather Borden. The four did not show ongoing issues to their constituents or get permission from them to resign. That is poor judgment. That is what that person is saying.
And I wholeheartedly agree, because Sterling, when those four individuals wanted to get elected, who did they go to? They went to their constituency.
Right.
They went out there, they had meetings, they talked to them, they convinced them, they went to their door, they did what they had to do to convince those people. So how is it that you feel the need and the importance to do all of that footwork and all of that spending to get people convinced to vote for you, but you don't have the least bit of respect and decency to say, well, you know what, these people take their vote serious, maybe I need to go to them and make sure that this is a decision that I can make collectively with them. That's at the very least, and I agree with that the person who left that comment 100%.
Yeah. Okay. I'm telling you, man, it's something that I like, that you are able to encourage others to share whether they agree or disagree, and that's great. But where does this leave us locally? Because there's another comment politically, our comment.
Of course, let's hear it.
Yeah. I'm at that stage now where if I want to see you, I take my glasses off, I want to read what's on the screen. I gotta put it on, right? So someone questions, will Radio Cayman have the four members on radio to state their positions? The short answer would be, of course, we're always willing to have people on, It's just got to be aligning, and I think that transpired, and we haven't, with the weather being what it is, right?
The Mustang is already out of the corral. We don't, I would encourage Radio Cayman to accommodate, absolutely. And I'm not saying that the Radio Cayman shouldn't accommodate. What I am saying is, though, it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late. And then each one of them have already issued these press releases, these personal press releases with their own personal reasons. I mean, come on, man. You all have offices in each of these districts where your constituents are. Why haven't you went to your people and let them know what they did, Sterling? They saw the boat sinking, they stole the raft, they got off of it, and then when the people sank and were hollering, they said, boy, we left because we couldn't agree with the two people that's sleeping in the back of the boat, so we just had to leave everybody.
Yeah.
So,
well, listen.
We need to hold them accountable on election day. End of story. We cannot tolerate this level of abandonment when the country needs every hand on deck, right? So for me, as much as I like Kathy and as much as I supported the move at removing the Regen Project and removing Jennifer Ahorn, I insulated her on my podcast when people were trying to throw out all of the slurs and criticisms and all. I made sure that I provided the facts as to why she did what she did, that it made better sense for people to understand it. And I personally feel like I was betrayed because I thought that Kathy had the wherewithal and the bravery after she demonstrated. Listen, moving Regen from the project, from the books, and removing Jennifer Ahorn was not a small thing. That was a huge thing. That those things were for the benefit of these islands and the generations to come. So I was just a little bit disappointed that she would have abandoned her post in the middle of a fight, that even though it gets frustrating and it feels like you're hopeless, but that's when you buckle down and that's when you stay the course, man. As I said before that break, we need leaders, not quitters.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's fact.
One of our listeners No may not recognize who you are, but it's out of my what was the instructions? You didn't identify yourself, and I probably did indirectly. So one of our listeners writes yes, calls you by first name, say yes, Bobo. Right? So.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind you telling everybody who it is because I don't hide behind my name.
Yeah.
I don't write articles and put anonymous on it. I don't do that. You understand?
Yeah. That's what I like about you, man. You stand in your gap.
But anyway, Sterling, I think I've
No, thank you for your time, man. Thank you.
took up a lot of your time, and I'll probably send me an invoice now for
No.
for time being on the radio.
It would be well justified.
Yeah, man, these conversations are needed, and I think we need to have a more open mind, and if we keep talking about accountability and we keep letting them off the hook, then we are the ones to blame. Election day, we need to hold them accountable. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I'll say this to you as you leave, and one of our listeners. In all fairness, they were elected to represent their constituents, but were not elected as cabinet ministers. They have not resigned their posts as members of parliament.
Well, one of the things I would like to see change in the Constitution to that person's comment. What I would like to see in the Constitution is that anyone that resign a cabinet post automatically is resigned completely from Parliament, and we have a by-election and replace them.
Yeah. I allow you, to share as much time as you want. I so, take one other listener. And thank our listeners, man. They're engaged all over the place.
I like that they engage, man.
Yeah.
I like to hear the comments, even if it's in support or if it's against. I like to hear it.
Okay, this one says, I don't agree with Mario. And for those who are listening, it's Mr. Mario D. Rankin as our guest on their phones. Said, I don't agree with Mario's comments on the resignations, as if they tried and couldn't convince the changes, then I think that was their only option to resign. All right.
Well, I mean that's a person's opinion, and we certainly appreciate it, and I respect it. And again, that's open for debate, because if they tried, where in the Hansards that they tried, they see the problem is, Sterling, is that these ministers had these private arguments in cabinet that nobody in the public knew about, and they got their feelings hurt and they got emotional, and then they up and left because they couldn't get their way. And if that had been a public debate, and if those people had fought for those things publicly and had made the public know what was going on, the public could have rallied around them, and we could have convinced cabinet to have done what they wanted. Once they were able to include us and inform us properly enough that we can say, okay, we support why you want these changes, or we support why you don't want to make these changes. And then, because if I was ever elected, I'm not doing anything that the public don't agree with. And I know that you can't go to the public for everything. There got to be some hard decisions that need to be made. But one thing I do know is this: if we're making a decision that affects the public, then the public have to be involved. So at the end of the day, I don't subscribe to the idea that, well, we were back and forth with them, we couldn't get our way, so the best thing to do is resign. No, you fight right until election day. That's how I see it.
Yeah, man. Well, I certainly appreciate you sharing that with us. You know what I mean? And
all right. Well,
call in as you wish. All right.
I appreciate you giving me the time, my brother. All right.
My brother, thank you for taking the time and sharing as you did. All the best.
Man, have a good one.
You too. Okay. And this listener says, alrighty, I can try to read that in a second. 949-8037. Give out the numbers so you can, if you so choose, you can call us. We want to hear from you. You don't need to agree. You don't, have to put it one way or the other. If you're not quite sure, we'll work it out together. 949-8037, 949-6990. Toll free at 1-800-534-8255. You can WhatsApp call 925-32621 and share your thoughts with us. This listener writes, thanks to that, let me read that. This listener writes, resigning from cabinet and leaving the government and the country in an unstable state is bad for the constituents. Taking these appointments and performing well is part of why they were voted in as MPs. Well, what say you? What's your perspective on that? Maybe as Mr. Mario Rankin just shared, or alluded to, or as I inferred, maybe when we look at how we elect, maybe there needs to be more transparency and accountability, greater participation by the electorate. But these are conversations that we have to have and be willing to have, the maturity to have, and to recognizing that there is, at that initial stage, a conversation. What does it mean? And do we, as I go into the break, maybe ask you to consider, do we rethink, as our listeners have shared, that the appointments to cabinet now become elected members, recognizing that if we understand the Constitution, the Honorable Premier has the ability to hire and fire the cabinet members, right? Maybe we can confirm that. But should we as a people be able to elect the cabinet? And some would say, well, that doesn't work with the Westminster system. Others would quickly resolve that the Westminster system has already failed. Some would say, well, the things to ask you. When a person is elevated to cabinet, so elected by the constituency, and then now appointed to and elevated to cabinet, that person has to serve two masters. Scripture says you can't serve two masters. The first master is to honor the constitutional responsibilities of that ministry, that portfolio. And then obviously doing so while paying attention to the interests of the constituents. You can't serve two masters. Is that doing a disservice to not only the country, but also the constituents? And moreover, when that person sitting in the cabinet is asked to make a decision, that decision affects the entire country and not just the constituency. So whether it's 500 people that voted for that person or more or less, that person's decision in cabinet, when funds and policies are being determined, that affects all of the country. And if there's a perceived conflict, the government is going to build something. And it's best to build it in area A, but the particular cabinet member thinks that building it in area C, his or her area, is best. Where will they vote? And how will their constituents respond? So should we be electing on that basis? Well, talk about it. Stay tuned. Join us after the break.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
From 8th to the 30th of November, the Pirates Week Festival will embark on a 3-week journey under the theme of setting sail through time. Join us for a host of free activities for all to enjoy. Immerse yourself in pirate folklore, journey to each district day, and celebrate Caymanian culture while you connect with friends new and old. For more information on events and activities, please visit piratesweek.com. Brought to you by the Ministry of Border Control, Labor and Culture.
Step into Winner's Circle Sports to explore fresh arrivals. Choose from the newest lineup of Adidas, Nike, Vans, Converse, On Running, and Jordan. Whether you're gearing up for the weekend with friends in graphic tees, Nike shorts, Nike slippers, prepping for a marathon season with Garmin watch, ASICS running shoes, and plush Balega socks, or maybe getting a head start on the holiday shopping with new Jordan retros, shorts, slides, and socks. Winner's Circle has you covered. Make Winner's Circles your go-to for the latest footwear, apparel, and accessories at unbeatable prices. Find us at 12 Walkers Road. Winner's Circle Sports, always a step ahead.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. It is Open Line with a call on the queue. I'll go next and hear from you. Stay tuned for the rest of what has to say as we listen to this caller. Welcome, thanks for calling.
Back again, Lord Sterling.
Welcome back again, sir. Welcome back again.
I don't want to shift the subject from the great American hero, Elon Musk.
Well, you say your bit and we'll see if we can engage, and then if not, we'll, keep moving the ball along the court,
I would love to give him a special invitation to the Caymans.
Listen. Tell me what you think now. Say more what you got to say, because I don't want you to be,
well, to be quite honest here, Caymanians, a lot of us as Caymanians need heroes from on the outside, because some of our own people here is keeping us down. Bad-minded.
Well, there is that, but my friend, how do we address that? What do we do about that?
Well, we keep it. Oh man, it's so many different ways to address it. Technology, for example, it's terrible to know that you got. I tell you plain and straight. I have lost a lot of bugs here in Cayman, right? And I say to myself, well, did they take it all? Did they cause me to lose everything? I don't think so. But what I lost, I should be able to gain it back. But I ain't worried about them. I ain't worried about. I don't worry about it too much, because I don't. That's not most important to me. But they should have a better mind than what they got, keeping down Cayman and some of our own people. They know who they are, keeping us down. Don't want to see us get anywhere. I mean, that's terrible. So he's one of the people I look to, the mighty Elon Musk. I hope he come in and drop some cheese in the Cayman for us.
Well, we never know, in this country who has, investments or assets or something somehow. We are a very incredible financial destination. Our services and professionalism far exceeds what we here appreciate, and sadly what has been shared internationally, perhaps to discredit deliberately our industry in order to attract businesses to there. That begrudge that we find within our own, we know it from outside, and from reported instances of the British royalty to sitting parliamentarians in other jurisdictions, to the wealthiest globally. They're not here.
Now you're talking.
Right?
Now you're talking.
And this is the thing, right? Their decision, their conscious decision to bank with us, to use our financial vehicles and financial service providers, they didn't do that because they flipped a coin. They didn't do that, willy-nilly. They understand that we rank head and shoulders. Our maritime authority, our shipping registry, is what it is because of the competence, the leadership, the stewardship, right? And we hold our own.
Sterling,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sterling, I never really believe, to be honest with you. I believe in having principle about myself.
Yes, sir.
I didn't really believe in trying to grab at big dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I always worked some regular, certain jobs that paid little.
Mm-hmm.
But if the big man decides to give me a little relief and
All right.
put some good dollars in my hand, I would take it.
Okay, fair enough, right? But let's look
I
at.
ain't no politician. I
No.
ain't no
All right.
I ain't no politician.
Let me help you, all right? Let me help you. Right? Do what someone's, probably need to do more of that I know you do. Look at who you are. You bring much to the table. You have value and worth. And at the end of the day, what you do and say and how you think and perceive yourself matters, right? So a helping hand from somebody can go a long way, without question, right? And the idea that we sit and wait for somebody to give us something, then that means that we are beholden to them. No matter how much and how significant or important and timely that thing may be. If it's not given, right?
Well, Mr. Sterling,
Yes,
now,
sir.
I got to tell you something to you.
Yeah.
I have a title which is also an inventor. I got a lot to offer myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have designed things,
Mm-hmm.
so I can offer things. And that's the fact. As a Caymanian, I believe in having something to offer. I've been held down. I've been kept down on this island by certain people. They just don't want to see me get anywhere. Just like certain other Caymans, they don't want to see certain Caymans get anywhere. I just don't know why, this evil ideology. But I can design certain intellectual properties, and I can sell I can sell them.
Mm-hmm.
But I got my intellectual property different types.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, right? You have a lot, and in time, we can get there as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's take this other call, my friend. Okay.
All right.
All right, man. Good chatting with you. Chat with you when you're ready again. As we go to the other line, welcome. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling. How are you?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good. Thanks for you guys. Beautiful, attentive. Work last night.
You're most welcome. It was a pleasure and a privilege.
Sterling, where did the hurricane went to, man? I wake up and look for the hurricane. I wake up, no hurricane. I went back to sleep. I wake up, no hurricane. What happened?
Yeah, I must share that I have not looked at the information that was given, because some people, once it leaves their area of concern, no longer provide information, and there are others who will track it from the potential of it forming all the way through it complete dissipating. I didn't. I know that my friends and family who are rather enthusiasts, they do, and they'll, but I just haven't. But it was, if, and please, I'm almost most reluctant to say it because I really haven't, but there were some concerns that, as it continues its path, it could weaken over Cuba, and then it could, strengthen again and move its way into the Gulf, potentially, and this is only from the American perspective, touching concern Louisiana. But I have not looked at it. I mean, I could now, but I won't. So I don't know is a short answer,
Yeah. Well, I just pray that the people in the Bracken, Little Cayman, they'll recover,
Indeed,
recover
yes.
well,
indeed.
and I hope everybody chips in and do their part and bring them back fully to 100% and more. Because, we're always helping everybody else, and sometimes we wonder, where the help is here for us. But I would say no more about that.
Uh-huh.
Miss Sterling, I went down in the road there where the prison is there in, what's the place called, down behind Triple C, what do you call down there again?
Fairbanks?
Fairbanks. I went down by Fairbanks prison. Because someone was telling me that there's a building back there and down the back that's pretty nice. So I drove in there today, me and my grandchildren, and this huge building all the way down. I think it's like, I don't know if it's 2 or 3, look like 3 floors. But I never had no sign up saying what it was. And I saw one gentleman, I asked him what was the name of the building, and he said something. I don't know what he even said, but anyhow, there was a lot of cars down there. But to get to that building, you had to cross the Fairbanks prison, right?
Uh-huh.
Sterling, I'm going to say it just as raw as I saw it today. That Fairbanks prison, it is inhumane.
Inhumane, yes. Why do you say that?
It is inhumane to see that we got especially women up in that prison. Sterling, if you don't pick up any disease and germs in that location, you ain't gonna pick it up nowhere else.
Oh, boy.
You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And to see that here we are building this, building that, and government breaking up and government making up, and we don't have a decent prison. I hate the word prison. Prison to keep our people in. And then again, we supposed to have some mental health place here on Island that it just can't seem to get it swinging. Got a lot of, I understand, some staff that is collecting a salary and not doing a job for the salary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where a vision is, but let me tell you something. I hope that we all live to see next year election, and I hope those that are coming out got some serious plans to help upgrade this island and so many important things that need to be upgraded. Sterling, we got the population here that Cayman can't even hold. We don't have enough police officers. We have a fingerprint machine and we refuse to use it because we're so afraid of who we're going to catch living here amongst us. That must be the biggest problem we're having right now. They are afraid to print their fingers on that fingerprint machine, and it needs to come out. Immigration can't handle the island. Nobody here can handle what is happening here in Cayman because the population is bigger than the workers that we have here, call themselves police officers, immigration officers, and security guys here, and they're working that has no skill whatsoever. They don't even have a handcuff on them. They can't walk with no gun. I wouldn't want to walk with no gun. You understand?
Yeah.
Darling, something need to be done in this island. I don't know where. And this another thing before we go.
Mm-hmm.
Darling, I was down behind CUC again the other day, and I came to you before about this.
Right.
The derelict cars is down in CUC. It is a disgrace. When you go by A.L. Thompson, there's a lot there too, but there's a lot that's movable on both sides, which is doing business across the street, and both sides got cars left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the police officers? When you go into Windsor Park, it is a sorry with all of these damaged cars that can't even move again. What our MPs are doing? I leave you with that.
Okay, and as you go, we'll take our break, but one of our listeners says, fully agree with you. Okay? And to answer your question, another listener says, what are they doing? Nothing. All right, thank you for that. We'll pause. When we return, ask you to rejoin us.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Fall into savings at Brand Source Home Gallery with their 54th anniversary sale. Enjoy store-wide savings on brands like Monogram, Cafe, Fisher & Paykel, Samsung, LG, GE, Beko, Uline, Foster, Thor, Elica, and more. Get from 15% up to 40% off on premium appliances. Transform your bathroom with savings on Duravit, Toto, Moen, Palazzani, Badenhaus, and more. And don't miss out on 20% off cabinets and custom closets just in time for the holidays. Come celebrate the 54th anniversary with a store-wide sale at Brand Source Home Gallery. Now through November 16th. Located on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Or call 623-5000 for details.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. It's open line. We'll take the caller on our WhatsApp. Hey, thanks for calling.
Yeah, afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Hey, how are you? How are you?
Man, I'm doing good, really, really good.
All right, good to hear from you, man.
Hope you're doing good too.
I am thankful, a few things that I wish weren't what they are, but they are, and there's little I can do about it. So I make the best of it and hope and pray that as I go forward, I'll find a way.
I appreciate you guys being on the radio more time whenever they have like songs.
Okay, well, thank you for that. We hope you offer some value and service, and we're honored to do it.
Yeah, I think that as long as the airwaves stay loud and working, it deters the hurricanes from even wanting to make landfall. But that's a different discussion, right? These people here on this island that are developing on the beach. I don't know.
As you, sorry, you can hear me okay, right? So as you chat, is there anything on your end? We are hearing you, but its volume level is a bit low. We want our listeners to hear. I'm listening intently, but is there anything on your end that you can kind of turn up the volume or do something? I'm just asking.
You can hear me good now?
We can hear you. Is it still low? Yeah, it's still low, but we are hearing you clearly.
You can hear me good now?
Yeah, we are hearing you clearly. It's just low, but okay.
All right. Yeah, but what I was trying to say, right, is that we have developers on the beach, right, building up these oceanfront properties, because it's not going to be a beachfront property, it's going to be oceanfront. No beach going to be able to settle there, especially with how close they feel like they can go, right? And in particular, there's Hodge, where the new Grand Hyatt building, and our Department of Planning probably might say that they came too late to see what they were doing, but if they'd actually go on the beach, even on the roadside, or both ends, right? And if they don't see what they're doing, because what they're doing is part crime, in my opinion, where they
You are one of our listeners is sharing that they can hear you, but now we're breaking up. All right. Maybe it's just the WhatsApp connection. So we are experienced that we'll invite the caller to either, we can call you back or have you retry. It's probably the internet connection. You're there, sir?
Yeah, probably the internet.
Yeah. So that's it. If you want, stay. If it's Wi-Fi you're using, stay there if it's necessary.
I go in closer to the house one because I was in the car, man.
Okay.
Listening on the radio.
Okay, no man, that's cool. That's cool.
Easier.
Yeah, we're listening to you, man, and you go ahead and talk. We'll take the break next for the news, but you talk until then, right?
Yeah. Well, what I got to say, right, is that with the development, what's going on the beach, if the people can't see, and when I say the people in the government or civil servants can't see the job that they're supposed to do and go on the beach, check out if what's going on is legal or lawful, I would guarantee you half of the things that they're doing on them construction sites are illegal.
Okay.
I'm just saying something based off of my opinion when what I'm observing. If I was some sort of person, I would pull the alarm long time. I don't understand what's going on where they put in developing in areas where are underwater and they are actually a nursery for fish, for young fish, talking about predator and prey alike. And these people here, they think that it's okay to just do as they feel like just because they're in low tide, it exposes so much land. Yeah, bedrock shouldn't be considered land though. I don't know what they're thinking about when they're developing on these beaches, but they're the same reason why we got this so-called thing called climate change and sea level rising. They're the same reason why we are still here being dummies on this island, trying to take these advice from these experts in France. I can't believe the way that we think in this island, sir. When we come in, we don't even think locally. I don't know if we even know how to think locally anymore.
Well, maybe sometimes we are so disparaged and deceived. Sometimes we're so divided and disrespected. Sometimes, or we become in a space that we lose hope. There's a sense of despair. We're not seeing our own reflected.
No, we can have someone that would tell us what we can do. You see, we don't really have to do all this thing that we do in here now, trying to favor everybody that got money, trying to build 10-story buildings. This is the problem now. The more 10-story buildings we got, the less attractive we look to the people that come in here expecting more. They're not expecting more houses. They're expecting more scenery, and then all they can see is just water. That all they can see buildings and water. That's it. Buildings and water. We got the hazard on the roadside of that Grand Hyatt, where then the rocks on that fence, they're pushing back and they think a piece of plywood can hold that up. God forbid anything happen to people in the pedestrian or on the roadside. It's dangerous to see what we really going on, what we really accept as a island here, and be thinking about our people and our children. Man, look here, the traffic, amount of traffic on the side of the Westgate Road. You shouldn't have nothing built so close.
And as you share that, I don't have it to my recall verbatim, but by inference, what someone's shared. People treat you, on a personal level. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So if I extrapolate that and apply it to a national level, if we allow it to be a free for all, if we allow, the country's laws to, not be enforced, to be broken as, at will, if we refuse to stand up for who we are, if we fail to put in place policies, programs, and legislation in particular, that are beneficial, it's on us, right? We're gonna take the news break, but you're always welcome to shout back. You can hold on if you choose. Always appreciate your input.
Yeah, man, I'd listen in and see who else can chime in on that little situation. Cause I overheard a little bit during the storm, and one thing I concern about flooding is on the beach side, because
Right.
flooding from the beach and the floods could wash away the beach itself, and it wouldn't have to be about anything but the sea.
Okay. Well, as you disconnect, our listener writes and says the caller is correct. That site is negligence at its best, and enforcement by planning is a joke. He's also correct that we don't need to cater to everyone's wants and accept everything they are telling us. That's from one of our listeners, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Listen,
Appreciate that.
you take it easy. Talk to you soon. All right, let's pause and take the break. We have at the Office of the Premier ensured that our program will be available or when the Premier is scheduled. Can accommodate that. So if she's available, she will call. If not, recognize that more importantly, she's attending to not only the interests of the residents and our friends and family in the BRAC, but still leading the country. So sometimes, as much as we would like to have her share with the listeners through this platform, she can always avail herself of other avenues once people are being attended to as timely, appropriately, and sufficiently as possible. We're going to pause and take a break, and when we return, we invite you to call and share. So stay tuned.
Since 1976.
Covering Grand Cayman, no Cayman, and right. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevi Ebanks. All court services resumed today. Chief Justice Margaret Ramsey Hale issued the statement late Tuesday night. Earlier in the week, the courts had rescheduled all court appearances impacted by the passage of Hurricane Rafael to tomorrow, the 7th of November. For more information on court services and the courtroom's hearing list, visit judicial.ky. In regional news, Antigua and Barbuda and Jamaica have extended congratulations to Republican Donald Trump following his victory in Tuesday's United States presidential elections. Trump, a former president, defeated the Democratic nominee and Vice President Kamala Harris, winning 277 of the Electoral College votes as against 224 for Harris, who is aiming to become the first woman in the White House. Prime Minister Andrew Holness wrote on social media that Jamaica remains committed to strengthening the close and enduring relationship with the United States and looks forward to advancing the goals of growth, stability, and prosperity for their people. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown congratulated Trump on his resounding victory, noting that the electorate of the United States, through democratic means, has decisively reposed their confidence in Donald Trump and his policies. Apart from Trump's victory, the Republican Party has also taken control of both the Senate and the Congress. Trinidad and Tobago have signed a memorandum of understanding with the UK's Export Guarantees Department to support national development. Finance Minister Colm Imbert highlighted that the MOU creates access to funding for goods and services from the UK and complements existing export credit arrangements with countries like Australia, Austria, the USA, and China. The MOU will support projects in the national security, healthcare infrastructure, airport development, bridges, and road rehabilitation projects. UK High Commissioner Harriet Cross noted that the agreement marks a pivotal step in strengthening bilateral ties and exploring financial support for high-impact projects. That is your latest headlines. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News. 36 world finalists from 12 countries, 3 winning teams, and 1 global competition. It's the 2024 Young Chef, Young Waiter, Young Mixologist World Finals. This November 22nd to 24th in Singapore, and the Cayman Islands is in the finals. Cayman's Young Chef Champion, Brittany Bodden, Young Waiter Champion, Steph McDermott, and Young Mixologist Champion, Cody Wright, will be competing for the ultimate prize of $15,000. Join us in cheering on our young professionals, tomorrow's leaders in hospitality and service, as they represent the Cayman Islands on the world stage. Supported by the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transport, and Development.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just the delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
And welcome back. Thanks for joining us. It is open line, 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp, call, message, or text. 925-32621. You know, I've been having this headset on so much now it kind of feels attached to my head. Maybe I should joke and say I use it to keep my hair in place, so better yet to keep my head tightly secured. What's on your mind? What do you want to share? Well, let's look at a couple of these messages. Thanks to those who are also sending their thoughts to us on the WhatsApp. This listener writes, let's pull this up 1 second and see what we can read here in relation to the last caller's comments from this listener. But again, it's open line, and if the Honorable Premier is able to join us, we're happy to take that call. If not, tomorrow is another day, and later today also. So the caller before the news was talking about many things in the construction, and this listener shares, I agree with that caller about that building next to the wharf. The surrounding land in front of the building is higher than the West Bay Road. Also, I can see no area for any green space for that development. One individual I was looking for that comment was expressing a view. We had a slight exchange that and I guess how the person put it must be knowledgeable in the sector. And this slab of the floor is looking, he didn't say narrow, but not as thick. I really can't comment on that. I'm not an engineer. But then it now makes me curious as I drive by that, to look and go, is that as thick as it should be? But it's being built, and people been inspecting it, so they should know that, right? Let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne.
Listen, I hope that you will take this with great love. It hasn't been 12 hours since your name was called to question, where have you been, my friend? It's been a long time. People are thinking about you.
I'm just busy with my life,
All right, man.
But it seems, Dwayne, people don't leave you when you even don't say nothing. When I am all these long years now, 4 years, I don't say anything in the media. I don't involved in politics. I don't say nothing. The dirty, unfortunately, I will say this word, dirty money being paid to people in immigration department to go after me and after my family, after my child, after my life. I've been here all these years. I never commit any crime. I always support the Caymanian people. I always stand with the Caymanian people. I always say what is a lot of Caymanians can't say publicly. But it's very sad that today when you speak to some media and they speak about my family in a bad way, which, it's very sad that people are discriminating against me, against my child, because I am Muslim. The Cayman Status Board deny my status based in I don't allow my daughter 4 years at the time. She was 4 years old not to go to church. And I am Muslim. How you telling my child what religion she have to choose? She have to choose for herself. It's very sad that today I have before election, I receive a letter from Immigration Department. Today, I am asking Jeremy Scott, who is sitting in the head of immigration, why I am receiving the same letter before election. This man is involved in dirty politics, him and Gina Lewis.
If I might, and I can hear your frustration, and I certainly don't want you to feel dismissed or disrespected, but for what it's worth, two things. Whenever there's a complaint against a public servant or the function of government, whether it's in your mind, and that's what I confirm, Amjad, you hearing me? Two things, right? There is the Complaints Commissioner's office. You may have explored that avenue. There is the Human Rights Commission and the Commission Secretariat. And potentially, maybe there is someone out there in the legal arena that could offer you some guidance and direction. The other thing I'll share with you that, let me do that in a different vein, but consider those three avenues in order, that it will get the redress that you deserve, even if at the end of the day, sorry, it's not in, as you wish, at least it'll be fairly adjudicated. Hey, thanks, man, and please allow us to not allow you, to perhaps further make it more difficult at this time. Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Hello?
Yes.
How are you? Yeah, I can, yes. How are you?
I am very thankful. Very thankful. And I want to tell you, I pray and have a good day too, and I'll make it long. It's running too good, but listen. I asked the Lord, I was listening to this, and I said, Lord, I don't know the number. If you want me to say what I got to say, help me. I went to the phone book, and I opened it, and I looked a little bit. I didn't see. And by the time I said that, you gave it, and my head just kept it. I'm 84 years old. My name is Frances Otencha Conley. And I want to say this, with all that I listen to, I don't know why people are so ignorant. If they read their Bible, I've got laughed at this. I couldn't care less. What? Oh, see, Jesus is coming. Read
Yes, ma'am.
Matthew 24 will give you enough. And all this that is happening, supposed to be, don't hate no one for it. This got to be, and it said as it was in the days of Noah, it would been in the last days. And even when I go into town and see how the road is dig up and this and that, it pains my heart. You're just waiting to hear the trumpet blow. Just rest in peace and look at and a soul every one that going on with this gotta be. And it would be an evil leader in the last days. And it's in yesterday. Oh my goodness, I didn't think people were so ignorant. They're not reading their Bible. People just studying money and political whatever. It could never, election could never come on again to me. As far as I'm concerned, if I live or I die, it makes no difference. I trust in God. And I didn't thought people were so ignorant, especially when they came on Ireland. In God we trust, to say, but they're not reading their Bible. No, because this is in days, and this was on my heart. I tell it to my children, and I want the world to hear it, and I don't care who make fun. You will make fun when you get in hell. And I can tell you, I ask God to help me daily, because this is the end. I don't know what day, I don't know what hour, and Jesus don't know himself till the Father tell him. But I can tell you, we don't have much further to go. This is in time. Everything in nowadays is right now. Building, marrying, divorce, everything that was there. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I ask God to help me to be ready. I don't want to go to hell to punish anymore. I do enough on earth now because I going through some things, but this would won't make it. And I'm not going to hold you no longer. But came on earlier, it is Jesus to help us, no one else. Don't worry over what's going on in the house, in the assembly. All of that will be, all this confusion. This is in time. Read Matthew 24 and all about the war and thing. It's going to be world war. We all going to be in it too. This Bible say it, and King James do not lie. So that's all I got to say. See? And I don't, I don't care who like it. I don't care who point gun at me. I don't care what to do. I'm 84 years old, and I thank God for giving me this much of this. And I intend to fight for him. Jesus is who I'm fighting for. I want to make it with him. And, I just don't care who like me from who don't. So, see, I love you, and I love everybody. I don't want nothing in my heart for no one. But God would charge me to sit there and burn with this and don't tell some that not got understanding or don't read their Bible. I not making how much neither, but I know enough to know that we're in the end time. We don't got much further to go. They can laugh at me. It matters not.
Well, Ms. Conley.
So much, O.C., and I thank God that I get the scene. No one hate one another for what's going on, because this must be. This is in the end. Yeah. Talk to God. Fight for God. Vote for God. No one else. It is God at now, man. Thank you, O.C., and God bless everyone.
God bless you, Mom. In our prayers that you continue to be comforted by His word, guided by His hand. As you seek, the scriptures, the answers will reveal themselves, and as your purpose in your heart, God will provide the provision and the protection. At 84, some of us at a fraction of that age don't have the courage that you have, the resolve and the resilience. So may God's eternal blessings and favor be upon you and many of our parents and their elderly, but also our children. So thank you for sharing with us. God's richest blessings upon you. We'll pause and take the final break. We have a call in the queue. We'll come back to you when we return, so please stay tuned.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments November 4th to the 8th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Wayne Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email Dr. Porter Cayman at gmail.com. That's drportercayman@gmail.com. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020.
Attention students and parents, are you ready to explore incredible opportunities for your education? Visit the 2024 North American Boarding School Fair, Tuesday, November 19th at the Grand Cayman Marriott Beach Resort from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is your chance to meet with the representatives from the top boarding schools across the U.S. and Canada, all in one place. Discover the right school for your future. Sign up today at BettyWalker.com. That's www.BettyWalker.com. Contact Neil Murray at 925-8793 or email l-murray@candw.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. We'll go take this next call. Hey, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Sterling.
It's a good pleasure to talk to you here and talk today. Even though I was honored for the young lady of 84 years to call me OC, man, I feel like I'm arriving.
I hear you, man. You're getting all kind of updates, you know, with your name and things. So,
I tell you, man, I'm moving on up with that Jefferson song, right?
Yeah, Jefferson song, right? Moving on up.
How are you, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, my friend. Doing good, man. Blessed to come out of what we came out of last night, you know. But
thank God, yeah.
Yeah, man. That was a blessing to come out of that. So, I kind of felt hurted for that gentleman just now. I mean, I know his family and things, and the little girl and everything, but it's sad. I mean, and then the lady came on.
Yes.
I understand what she talking about. And I understand the reason why she came on. You know, our people, real and true, Sterling, our people really, like what our lady said, 84 years old, our people will never have the stand up as in, she don't even worry about people laughing at her, you know, because when you read the Bible, the people laughed at Moses, they mocked Moses, they mocked Noah, and you see what happened when they mocked Noah and they laughed at him? When God Almighty shut the door, they all cried, let them in. It was too late. That is our people in Cayman. That is our people in Cayman. Our people are really hardcore, cold-hearted to one another. But they see foreigners and praise foreigners, but they can't stand up for their own people. I just can't understand it, Sterling. How we expect to live among each other. We all say we go in one direction. I don't think so, because we can't choose where we going. We can't choose where we going. There's only one individual to do that, and that's God Almighty. We can't tell him we coming through his door. He got to tell us. As simple as that. But what I wanted to say was, when that young man came on about the building of the places on Westbury Road, I came on some days ago. My daughter came down and got the her presentation from the governor. And I couldn't. Well, I was blown away when I seen that building on Westbury Road.
Yeah.
I would like to ask our representatives in government. And I want to see them so bad to ask them face to face. I don't care which one it is. It could be from the highest to the lowest. I want to ask them, who are they protecting and why are they allowing these things to be built in Cayman? And who are they building for? Because if them people were building these buildings for Caymanians to have an opportunity to get jobs in those buildings, Caymanians wouldn't be crying. And on top of that, why do the government allow these people to build these buildings, get these buildings up and running, and still be paying people $4, $5, $6 an hour? You can't even buy gas with that. Why it is that our government don't stand up for the people of the Cayman Islands? Why it is that it always got to be the same old cry every time? People see these things happening and none of them wants to stand up and come on the radio, because you know why? It come in like them billionaires in the United States. Biden, all of those administrations and all of them, whether it doesn't matter which administration, all of this about money. They're fighting and tearing down one another because of the money. And they're forgetting that the people is the ones that are standing for them and being the ones that putting them there. What is wrong with our people? It's a sad situation. I mean, when you stop and think, who are they billing for? Who are they billing for? Why do our government allow these things to happen? And then when you get up, the first thing they cry out, Sterling, and boy, that one word I can't stand here. And I wish a certain politician would stop, and I call him no name. I wish he would stop. Like I say, I wish he would stop that rubbish of talking about caucus every time they go in caucus. I'm so sick of hearing about caucus. Why it is that they don't talk about helping us and stop talking about caucus? The people say, man, need help, Sterling. We need help. We tearing on each other. You know why? Because we can't stand to see will another get something, so we tear that one down, and we don't realize that at the end of the day, our children are the one that's suffering from it. That's the same way that gentleman is hurting because of his child. Why do the government allow these things to happen? That man has a child. When is these people going to step aside and say, listen, this man need help, let's help the man. With the family. Whether it's religion, and there we go. We talk about we so religious, but then we discriminating against other people's religion. They have their belief, Sterling. I have mine. If I hold a grudge against them, God say he without the first sin, let him cast the first stone. Let him cast the first stone. So we can't judge people like that, and our people got to stop it. We need to work together and try to build this country back, where the people try to get something out of it and not being tearing us down every time we turn around. And I know people left and right, they would give me hell right away for what I'm saying. But you know what? It doesn't matter. If they won't hate me for the day, at the end of the day for what I say, let it be.
I want to read something one listener shared in relation to that building, but we have another caller on as well, so I'll take that one first, all right?
Okay.
But it aligns with some of your sentiments. But thank you, man, and keep us posted. Not only are we in constant prayer for everyone over there, but let us know what we can do, officially and unofficially. I'll shut up.
Yeah, man.
Okay, bro?
Yeah, man. Later, bro. Later.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah.
All the best to you, man. Let's take this, what promises to be the final call, and then we read that WhatsApp message. You don't want to hear what that listener says. Well, hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne.
Hey, how are you today?
Good afternoon to the caller just got off there. Just had a joke when somebody just said that it's called caucus, but it's not a caucus, and it's cussing us. It's cussing the people.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
They call it caucus, but he says cussing the people and telling them how fool they are because we put them in there all the time.
Oh,
He gives them some caucus, but he said every time they meet caucus, it's cussing us.
you said that, and then Mario Rankins said, what we need leaders, not quitters, or something?
Yeah, we need leaders, not quitters.
Our people on a roll today, boy. All right.
Yeah, he said that what he called cussing us. Well, I won't agree with. I'm like the caller just said. I am sick and hearing about the meeting in caucus because I know for one thing, from March of this year, the caucus was meeting every Monday or every Tuesday. I can't get no solution out of my cases yet. So I don't know how many more people is sitting. Maybe we might got that thing where we are Caymanians behind that. So maybe the ones that are not from here is to get through what they want to get through because they're making a lot of progress.
If I may, if you permit me to ask you, and I do not want you to share anything confidential, right? But I want to clarify when you refer to caucus, or I like you say cussing us, were you physically there, present, making? Because I understand that people get invited to make presentations. Would be developers and charlatans.
Yes.
So you were physically there.
Physical event
Okay.
here in March of
Right. Can we?
2024, and up until now,
Okay.
just been running round and round. That was a caucus. They told me that was a caucus meeting then.
Right. Can you, if you think it's appropriate, when you were there, were there people there who were not elected members of parliament? I'm not asking you to say who they were, and obviously why I'm asking, but in this body that, eventually sort of goes to cabinet and whichever, but are there, to your recollection, were there non-elected members of parliament?
Well, there were, I guess you would call them non-elected members, but there were people like from the ministries.
Okay, okay, sorry. Let me even make it easier. Excluding civil servants. And I guess it's maybe for an opportune time, but maybe we should postpone that because
there were elected officials and civil servants.
Yeah,
we won't call them
right.
chief officers and stuff. So,
right.
They were there in the meeting, and there's who still are trying to. People say, everything. That's what we're trying to
Yeah.
out. But
and the reason is that some must have an inkling of it. Some must have a better insight. Some must have questioned, well, how is this thing working? And it's just a very general statement. From the time we started it, it was, condemned because it was illegitimate, as alleged by some, to now where it's more sort of formalized. Some question, well, what's the level of confidentiality? To what extent should a body like that exist that is so eminently positioned that then goes to cabinet to sort of ratify what was shared? Is that democracy? It probably is, right? And to what extent should non-elected people participate to the alleged extent that they do? And so it's just a question, and maybe I'll be able to ask others to help us understand it.
We were invited by the elected officials to come to the caucus
Right.
and present
Right.
our, I would say our side of it that we know about, and then after that we were asked to dismiss from the meeting.
Yeah.
We left and we came out of the meeting, and then they continued
Right.
on with whatever.
Which is different,
We
right?
didn't stay there to make no decision made by neither side.
No. Let me clarify just in case. Yeah, we're not saying that. So people get invited, they make their thing, they stay for as long as they need to be, and then they go and other people come in. But then there remains these people, and so increasingly people are saying, well, how, is that sensible? Is that the way it should be? In this body of elected people, you have other people, not even sometimes considering the presence of civil servants. So
I don't know. I know
Yeah.
it's nobody else.
Yeah.
There was nobody else there.
We gather that's a decreasing practice, but one. But thanks. But anything else you want to share before we leave?
Okay, bye.
All right, take care. Thanks. All right, two final things before we close. One, Education Ministry announces that all educational institutions opening tomorrow, 7th of November, further to the issuance of the all clear for all islands. This includes all childhood care and education centers, nurseries, preschool, daycare, the infant, primary, and secondary schools, the tutoring centers, technical and vocational centers, colleges, and universities. And So all schools on all three islands opening up tomorrow. We read this from one of our listeners. We'll probably read it again. This listener writes, I've been very concerned with what could happen with the side of the road near the Grand Hyatt construction site. If there is enough rainfall, or God forbid, a large enough wave of water comes through from the sea and washes all of those rocks into the sidewalk and into the road, especially if someone is crossing when it happens. While small, but still comparative in nature, you may have noticed when driving on the Esther Highway across from the new Indigo Hotel going towards the roundabout, there are a lot of rocks and rubble that have been washed off the middle barrier and has now blocked the drain holes, causing flooding and dangerous conditions. NRA, along with planning, needs to address these two concerning situations, and I know they can quickly rectify these issues satisfactorily. So, thank you all for those sentiments. Appreciate very much being a part of last night coverage with Mr. Orrit. Today's privilege and the health and presence of mind to be able to return. I know Mr. Orrit did a stellar job as well, and we want you to be part of our continued coverage tomorrow on the Buzz and talk today later on. Now, I'll be here in the country. I don't have any intentions of traveling just yet, but I will be on vacation as of tomorrow. As private as I prefer, I feel it's respectful and appropriate to share with you that I will not, be as regular. I take the rest of the month of November for a little rest and relaxation, some reading and research that I have been willing to do, a couple of things I want to achieve, and God's willing that first Monday in December I'll return. I'll still be around doing things. I want to thank the fantastic team here. Your host for, most of that time will be your colleague Raymond Singh. He started tomorrow. He's got the CMO as others on, even one of the professors from UCI. So bookings are in play and he's making more. And then for the remainder of the month, there'll be other things as well. I'll be around, God's willing. I'll be able to return even much more enthusiastic and purposed and positioned, positive and prayerful. But I won't be until December. So thank you for the honor to host and last evening's sort of presentation and recognizing God's merciful hand on our nation. Let's stay in prayer for any eventuality, but for all, everywhere, for this passing storm and those that may come for other things, as Mr. Orrit said, not just natural disasters, but those that are man-made. So thank the nation, and to Ms. Conley at 84 years old for that presence of mind and that courageous, convicting spirit to remind us how important it is to know whom we serve. Now, again, see you when I see you. God's willing, it'll be first part of December, and always stay tuned and be a part of all we have to do. God's willing, see you then.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.